inevitable.
You have to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy.
I'm totally Batman.
Oh, man.
Communing with the earth spirits.
Welcome to California, bud.
Cowabunga.
And after that, I just sort of space out for about an hour.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Secondary Heroes podcast. We're continuing talking San Diego Comic-Con 2022 with Marvel's Hall H panel. Yes, it required its own episode to talk about. We're talking phase 4, 5, 6. Who knows how far, because Kevin Feige decided to talk about everything. And now here we're talking about what he talked about. This is Joe Sherman. Join me as usual is.
Hey guys, it's Prague.
You're not going to have much out of me this episode. This is Alexander Wolfgang.
Welcome, Alex.
I wore my San Diego jersey because we're still talking San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And
Indeed.
I just got it, and I really like it. So I wanted
It's very
to wear
bright.
It is. A whole lot of colors. Uh-oh, my button's undone. You guys don't need to see that at home.
That's okay.
Not that anybody can, because my internet is garbage.
Oh, I thought you were calling in from the moon. I wasn't too sure, but it's the internet.
It
Okay.
feels like it. Actually, no,
Nice.
It feels like I'm calling in from Hades, because it is hot in San Diego right now.
Mephisto
God,
confirmed.
and we are pushing 100 out here.
Gross.
Yeah, my parents are in town and they are staying right down the street, and they said that it hit 108 at their campsite.
Not bad.
Yeah, they have 2 air conditioners, so yeah, they're doing okay.
Yeah, what they say, they're fine. I have AC. I'm doing good in this heat. But anyways, on to
So-
Marvel, the big event, the Hall H
Yes.
panel. This is your
Let's
first. That was
talk-
your first Hall H panel, Trevor, was it?
Yeah, I've never gone before. And
Nice.
since Michelle loves going to Hall H, she's like, we have to do it this year. And I was like, I'll do it. And we talked about it last week on the podcast that I probably won't ever do it again. The Marvel
Yeah.
Hall H panel was outstanding, but that was like an hour and a half versus I had to wait. I don't know. I lost count of hours and I had to sit through all kinds of other hours of stuff that was not Marvel. So
Yeah. It's tough. It's rough. I've done it once and that was it. One and done. Do it once in your life and you don't have to do it again.
I
Yeah.
still have yet to do it. I've
Do it
only
once,
done
Alex.
for the years that I've been going to Comic-Con. I think I've only done maybe 2 panels, and one of them was ours.
Nice.
this was my second ever panel because the first one was ours in 2019.
Yeah, they're hit
Yeah.
or miss. Not every panel is worth it. But Marvel usually knows how to put on a good show.
Well,
And
yeah, I
they
heard
definitely did.
years ago they like gave away a bunch of like fun stuff to the crowd. Everybody got these like glow in the dark, I don't know, Loki things. I don't remember what it was, but it was a few years back, and I just remember people piling out of there going, "Oh my god, Marvel gave us all this stuff." Like, dang,
Yeah.
dude.
They do. A lot of companies do that though. They'll give you the little ticket so you can go get all your free stuff at the end, and Marvel's is usually some of the better ones.
And so in 2019, they gave out a Black Widow hat because 2019 was not the strongest introduction year for Marvel. But this year, when I was in line, the guy behind me is like, man, I sure hope they don't give us hats this year. I'd really like a shirt. And I'm like, we're going to get hats. And then Feige came out on stage and he's wearing a Miss Minutes hat. And I was ready to go right then. You can get my Miss Minutes hat. I'll leave. I'm good. And then like the last 15 minutes, he changes hats. And it's just talking about their new Phase 6 or Saga hat. And I'm like, oh, and that's the hat we ended up getting.
It's still a fun hat, but no, it's no Miss Minutes.
It's not a
That's
Miss
for
Minutes
sure.
hat.
It's
Should have
not.
went up to the microphone and said, "So what about the Miss Minutes hat?"
Yeah,
can
this
we
should have been
get
your
those
question.
Yeah.
instead?"
Excuse me, Mr. Kevin Feige, sir. Yes. Oh well, that's all right. But it was fun. It sounded like they dropped a lot on us for the next 3-4 years, possibly.
Yeah.
So
because a lot of this stuff gets leaked, and Marvel's like, why let it be leaked when we'll just announce it, and that way it can't be leaked because we already talked about it.
We did it. Yeah, it's a good strategy, especially since it all kind of leaked the day before. So they're like, well, we're going to do it anyway. So here we go.
Yep.
is
And
what it
so
is.
How do things like that get leaked? I don't understand. Like, what?
it's because so many people work on it. Think
Yeah,
how
there's a
many
lot of people, hackers, everything.
It doesn't even have to be hackers. Imagine you're the guy who sees them kind of prepping their Hall H panel. Like, this isn't the first day they go out and do it.
Mhm.
And you're making minimum wage. You're like, I'm not Kevin Feige. I'm never going to talk to Kevin Feige. Who wants this information?
Pretty much. Highest bidder.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
There you go. So,
Yep. So
but that's what we'll be talking about.
in case you are a Marvel fan, hopefully you are, you know that we're right in the middle of Phase 4. It's actually almost completed. And Phase 4 has been a heavy dose of the Disney Plus series, whether it's WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Hawkeye. It's going to be She-Hulk coming up. We've ran pretty much the whole gauntlet. We've talked about them all. Marvel's in there. There's only been a few movie releases. And we now know that Phase 4 is going to end this year. So She-Hulk is coming out this week that we record, 8/17 or something. And then we're going to have Black Panther 2, which was announced at this for November of this year. And then there's going to be a Guardians holiday special. And that's the end of Phase 4, pretty much ending in the 2022 calendar year.
There you go.
So hold on, we're on Phase 4. Well, what was Phase 1?
Like
Iron Man.
Iron Man, all that kind of style. The
was-
standalone first movies, Thor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then what? Like after the first team up is the start of Phase 2. Sorry, you guys are gonna have to. Obviously, I'm not the biggest.
So,
Marvel
the
fan,
first
so
the
please
first
give me
Avengers
some
movie
background.
is Phase 1, and then the second Avengers movie is Phase 2, and then Avengers 3 and 4 is Phase 3.
Okay, so everything after the Infinity Gauntlet is Phase 4.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh man. Oh, it's been kind of like ho hum after
It definitely
the Infinity
has.
Gauntlet.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
there's been nothing that's been like super standout to me where I'm like, oh my god, I have to see this. I've been watching things like Hawkeye and, and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Really solid Phase 4 stuff, people.
Yeah, I think part of that, and Trevor and I were talking before while you were resetting the internet to no avail, that the reason why it was probably like that is I think that they had just come off of 3 phases, like a decade worth of storytelling. They were probably exhausted. I'm sure Kevin had his ideas, but I think at the end of it, you also got hit with the pandemic. There was a lot of things that were moved around and not in the right release date. I think really they were like, where are we going to go from here? How can we make this stick? And I think a lot of it was darts on the wall. They had some ideas of different shows and movies that they can probably try to tie into a future narrative. But I think at that point they were probably running thin on staff because of the pandemic. So I think a lot of Phase 4 was more like, here, let's just throw some stuff up here so we at least have a foundation to go for the big stories we're going to tell the next 2 phases. So yeah, an unfortunate mess. I don't think all of it was necessarily Marvel's fault, but here we are. There's some gems, I think in Phase 4 for sure. But yeah, to your point, nothing I think was like, oh, wow, oh my God, can you believe how awesome X, Y, and Z was? Except for maybe Spider-Man No Way Home, which is more of just like fan service, if anything.
Yeah, it wasn't really-
Exactly, that was
yeah.
fan service.
It
That's what
wasn't overarching into the big
Right.
next Avengers movies or anything.
No.
Right.
So yeah. Anyways.
But I'll take a Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man team up any day, man. So
Yeah, it's fun.
if that's going to continue to happen, I love it. But
probably won't,
that
but we'll see.
probably will never happen again. But I'm glad that it did
Never know.
happen. But you know what? It was that. You're right. That was probably the best part of Phase 4 for
So there
me.
you go.
For at least for me, it has to be.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I think everyone knows what my favorite part of Phase 4 was, but
WandaVision.
yeah, WandaVision, of course, and the Scarlet Witch. I mean, in Doctor Strange, in the Multiverse of Madness, that movie. I enjoyed those a lot.
God, I feel like I was expecting so much more out of that movie too. Anyways, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the future of the MCU.
This guy.
You guys talked that movie up. I
We
was
kinda did.
you talked that movie up so
We should've talked
hard
it
that
down.
whenever I finally watched it, I was like, oh my god, I thought this was gonna be like totally different. Nope,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah.
It was
sorry.
not. It was
sorry. It ended up being just a good movie. It was fun. Sorry.
yeah, it was a fun, good movie. but
See, that's all you gotta do. Just have fun.
I wouldn't call it a tent pole or anything.
No, it's not a tentpole at all. I think that's what we were kind of expecting going into it, and then once you see it, you realize, okay, that's not what we were getting. So, and I think that's what a lot like to me. Phase 4 felt like a lot of like, oh, this big thing is going to happen, then it doesn't. Oh no, it's going to happen in this movie or TV show, and then it doesn't happen. We keep expecting that big multiversal moment, and it just has not happened yet. I mean, we've had little bits of it here and there, but I feel like we still haven't gotten quite it. They tried it with the
Right.
Illuminati, but it ended up being kind of more of a joke thing than anything really
Yeah.
serious. So nothing yet has happened. So I think we're still just waiting for that. And I don't think it's going to happen until probably phase 6.
So we got to go
Maybe.
through a whole nother phase. We got to go through phase 5.
Well, we'll talk
No.
about phase 5. We're
Yeah.
here for that.
Okay,
Don't
okay,
worry. Don't worry.
okay.
Yeah.
We're
So
skipping ahead.
yeah, at the actual panel itself, we had 6 different casting crews come out. So we had She-Hulk because that one's going to come out, and everyone's seen various trailers for that. We'll probably end up talking about that. So that's fine. But then Phase 5 is going to kick off with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which has a lot of hype to it because we know that Jonathan Majors, who plays Kang the Conqueror, was officially billed to be in that movie a while ago. And then once he showed up in Loki, we're piecing it together. And so that one's going to kick off Phase 5 next February. So it doesn't take too long into 2023 until we're starting Phase 5. And we got to see the trailer for that. And the trailer looks pretty good just because essentially Kang, he goes and narrates it. And
Well,
he's
makes
talking
sense.
about, yeah.
He is
and
the narrator.
he gets to a point where you can tell he's
Storyteller.
not talking directly to Ant-Man, but just they synced up the trailer. So it's like, oh, you're an Avenger? I defeated you guys before.
Nice.
I haven't seen this trailer yet.
No one has, except for the people in
Yeah,
Hall
it
H.
was just for the
Oh
panel.
my god,
Yeah.
what? Okay, that kind of makes Hall H a little bit more cool
Special.
if nobody has seen it outside of Hall H.
That's
Yep.
why Hall H is special. Yeah.
Yeah, there was 3 movies that just had footage
Oh.
exclusive to the panel, and the first one was Ant-Man. And like, people are excited because MODOK is revealed. He's supposedly going to be tied to the guy from the first Ant-Man, where he's got lost in the quantum realm, and now this is how
I
he
heard that theory
is
too.
spit out. Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. That
don't
is
think
totally
so.
a theory,
Okay.
but he's going to be the main kind of antagonist. But
Makes
the
sense,
cool
okay.
part of the trailer is it feels like they in Doctor Strange where they go through the realms, but it's about a minute of the entire
Right.
film.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like the quantum realm, they have more time with it because Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer are back as what's her name? Evangeline Lilly's
Hope.
parents. Hope, yes. And all 4 of them are together going and exploring the quantum realm.
Nice.
So they're just going to face all kinds of different things through that. And one of the points is Kang walking down a corridor, and he's
Okay.
wearing his full-on comic
Outfit.
book relevant outfit.
Nice. Okay. All right. That's exciting.
Do
Did it
we
seem
have
like
to
it
say
kept the
spoilers?
no?
Okay.
People know what
It's
they're
a
getting
trailer.
into. It's a trailer. Yeah, exactly. Can't spoil it for a trailer, silly.
Trailers are
You
already
never know.
spoiled.
You never know. Maybe there's people who avoid trailers, like
Oh, well.
people in this chat
I
watching.
know it. That panel, man.
The whole time, Trev's like, no,
I went
no,
in there. I was like, I
no,
didn't
listen.
sign up for trailers that are exclusive footage to spoil the whole Phase 5 and 6.
Everyone's like, what is Trevor doing over there? Oh boy.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, my question was the tone comedic? Because I know the first 2 movies were pretty comedic in tone. Did it feel like that? Or did it feel
doesn't
more serious?
comedic. And the director,
Okay.
Peyton Reed, he came out and
Mhm.
said, this is kind of a left turn of where the first 2 movies were.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. The second movie for me is pretty gosh darn forgettable.
Yes, because they didn't have
I
an
don't remember
antagonist.
much with him. I enjoyed it, but I don't think I remember much about
Well,
it.
It was
I
fun.
remember
There was just
enjoying
no,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, it
because
was fun,
Ghost
but
is
nothing
the
was memorable.
antagonist, but
Oh,
they
that's
didn't
right.
really know what to do with her as a villain. So they didn't really have
Right.
a villain.
Yeah, they didn't have a villain. Yeah, that's why.
There's gonna be people listening going, "That was like the best Marvel movie."
I don't think there's anyone out there
Okay,
that
good.
will say
I'm
that.
dying
You'll be
on
fine.
that. Ant-Man 2 is the best Marvel movie. Hill.
I mean, as I said, I enjoyed it. It was a fun flick, but I wouldn't call it the best. Yeah. So,
Well, at this
all
point
right.
in the show, I am going to interrupt the conversation to get to our
Oh,
socials.
let's
And
do
this week, people, that's right, we're sponsored. Our socials portion is sponsored. We've got a sponsorship. So let me pull up the. Here we go. There we go. There's music. So our sponsor this week is brought to you by TRX. That's right. We're TRX family around here. My buddy LJ is sponsoring our socials with his TRX. Make sure to go over to his Facebook at facebook.com/TRX Training Elite. And if you share the discount code TRX-Elite, you'll get 25% off the entire website. So that's a pretty cool deal. And they are that I've gotten a couple things from TRX and I absolutely love it. They're awesome products. But to get to our socials, we are Secondary Heroes. You can find us over on Twitter, Instagram, and crossthestreamsmedia.com. Go to crossthestreamsmedia.com, leave us a voicemail. What did you think of it? Were you in Hall H? Did you see these trailers that we're talking about? Did you enjoy what you're about to see in Phase 5? Who knows? Leave us a voicemail. You can also find our YouTube, where still at Secondary Heroes. Leave a comment. Make sure to go over to iTunes and rate and review our episodes, because it's very helpful to get more people to see us. Yeah, leave 5 stars. Exactly what Prog just said. All this is free for you, and it's priceless to us. Again, check out TRX Training Elite.
Excellent.
Nice. I'm trying to get back in shape.
I know, dude. I'm drinking beers again, and I'm like, why am I doing this? I need to use my TRX machines,
Do it.
bands, stuff.
TRX.
X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
No, we got a couple cool things coming out. I was just discussing some of the cool things that we want to do, like when we do the Lady Hulk. Is it Lady Hulk? What is it? Miss Hulk?
She-Hulk.
Lawyer Hulk? She-Hulk.
Lady
Okay, it
Miss
was one of them. Lady, like Lady Hawk, but Miss Pac-Man, you know, the whole deal. We were talking about creating an actual workout for the Hulk whenever we do the episode of the Hulk, so people can
Nice.
go over to TRX and they can, check out the Hulk workout. I don't know. We're gonna figure things out. We're still
Okay.
figuring it out.
All right.
All right, guys. Anyways,
Smash that like button.
thank you TRX for
smash.
sponsoring this.
Yeah. Thank you.
So Phase 5, where do we go from Ant-Man and the Wasp?
So interestingly enough, the second footage that they showed that wasn't leaked on is the next thing that's coming out, which just has a spring 2023 release date, and that's Secret Invasion, which is going to be a Disney Plus show rather than a film release. And Kobe Smulders came out to essentially show the trailer, and there was no one else, at least from the cast, but there was the emphasis on the trailer, which has the kind of Captain America Winter Soldier spy espionage vibe.
Okay.
It's more of a like gritty realism thing. It really just looks like a spy thriller. It is really shot well. It
Okay.
reminded me of when we saw the Andor trailer, where I just didn't expect it to be of that production quality and that just have tension to it. So this looks really good. I didn't think much of Secret Invasion because I've talked about it before. I'm not a big fan of the people dying and that person didn't actually die because they were just another species that can impersonate somebody. So I'm intrigued that they hopefully don't just do that, because that's just a gimmick that gets tired real quick.
Well, it's good to hear the quality, because when I heard that it was going to be a TV show instead of a movie, like it was first pitched, I was like, oh, does that mean it's going to be subpar for some reason? Because I know that sometimes the Disney Plus shows don't have the best CGI because they're kind of stretched too thin or whatever. They wouldn't have the budget to go all big on this big story, but it sounds like they did put a lot of effort into making
It
it
looks
look
like
gritty and real. And
it's not
nice.
gonna heavily be on CGI. Like
Which
it's
I
a
think
lot
is
of
fine.
street level emphasis
They
to
need
it.
that. They need
Yeah.
more shows like that right now to give breathing room for these, artists
effects
that are
artists,
working on
yeah.
CGI. They have no time to do anything. Like I'm doing like 12 shows at once. Oh my god, I haven't
Well,
1 month to do
And
it all.
I will say, it is really refreshing to hear you, Trevor, are excited about it. Like when you seem to be excited about something, it usually means it's going to be pretty good. So, like we've heard you talk in the past, and you don't like a lot of things, and usually
Wow, I'm hurt.
pretty you're pretty good. Well, I don't know why you're hurt. You have a very strong opinion about things. Is that wrong?
He knows.
Okay, all right. You're just playing that up.
He has high standards, and I
He has
appreciate
high
that.
standards, and that's the thing. Whenever you have an opinion that is of the positive, I don't know, it means a little bit more.
Well said. There you go. Turn that
I
shit
mean,
off.
I'm definitely excited for Secret Invasion. It looks really good. Like it was
Nice.
only, a minute long trailer, but there's definite quality to every single shot. Like the cinematography and all of that stuff is high quality. They have a certain bar that I don't think Disney Plus shows have really had.
Nice. Okay.
Maybe
That's good to
Loki
hear.
in terms of
Right.
just the like caring about set design and shots, but it's definitely, it feels like a movie. But
Okay.
the benefit is that it's going to be 6 episodes, so they have 6 hours to work with rather than 2 hours.
Well, cool. All right. Well, that's good to hear. I like
Hmm.
that. All
It
right.
definitely looks higher quality than She-Hulk. Like I haven't seen She-Hulk. I just know the trailer does not look the most exciting.
The trailer looks god awful.
Well, yeah, their CGI people were stretched thin, but yes,
It
not
didn't
the best.
start hiring some people. When you watch Corridor Digital, you see these guys do amazing effects within like 2 days' time.
Can't tell you, man. I
They're-
do know because I was hearing people that worked on these shows interview that they're usually told to do things last minute and rush things, so it's not always them.
Mhm. Like they're trying to keep it on the DL for as long as possible.
Right, or they decide last minute, like, oh wait, this didn't, track well, or maybe something happened in another movie, and they're like, well, we decided to do this route instead, redo the CGI, or we're hearing that people don't like this, so yeah, so a lot of that
like a Sonic the Hedgehog situation.
same
Yes.
idea, yes, but
Except
all the
Sonic
time.
the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're doing with She-Hulk. Is they're doing the Sonic the Hedgehog. They're gonna show us this really terrible She-Hulk commercial, and then whenever it finally comes out, it's gonna be
No,
like,
it already
this is-
premiered this week.
Oh no!
Yeah, the CGI apparently is still not that great, but that's all right. It's the way it is. I just
Is
expect
it as good
now,
as
that's
my
fine.
internet quality right now?
It's a little
Well,
bit
it's
better.
weird because Mark Ruffalo still looks really good as Hulk.
Yeah, I think this
That's
didn't
what's
have
the weird
parameters.
juxtaposition. Yeah.
I don't know.
It might be the hair though. The hair might be really tough.
Yeah, he doesn't have long hair,
Yeah.
so hair is not easy to animate. That's for sure. So, anyways, She-Hulk is
So-
coming. It's supposed to be fun and funny and not too serious. So, I'm not looking for it to be like a big event show.
No. It's just another way of using Young Avengers. That's
Yes.
what they're doing.
Are we gonna see a team up at any point?
Oh, eventually, but not in phase 5 or 6 as announced right now.
Are
As
you
announced.
Right
kidding
now.
me?
My guess, and we're going to
Oh
talk about
my
this later,
God.
Alex.
Yeah.
So I'm holding that
Okay.
thought for phase 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then after Secret Invasion was the other third movie where the cast came out and they showed us trailer that hasn't been leaked. And I know it's Prague's absolute favorite
Ah,
Marvel franchise.
It's the one I want
And
to see.
Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy, the cast got teary-eyed. Like James Gunn specifically said, this is the final, like this is the trilogy. This is the story I
Yeah.
wanted to say. This is the end point to this. And after the trailer, they got teary-eyed as a cast, reminiscing about this being the last time going out. And the trailer itself, I guess it's a spoiler. There's a very heavy emphasis on Baby
Spoiler
Rocket.
warning.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
we
I
know
knew
there's
about
been
that.
a Baby Groot thing, but there's a lot of Rocket's backstory of how he became Rocket. Like there's just a cute
Oh,
little baby
no.
raccoon, and
No.
there's no other foot. They show the cast in the film doing all kinds of different things across different planets, but there's no Rocket in any of them. He's specifically as an adult, not shown in the trailer.
They got to
Interesting.
capitalize on that Baby Yoda money, baby.
Well, they did it with Baby
Maybe.
Groot.
Baby
Yeah.
Groot, Baby Yoda. Keep on bringing out the babies.
No, I don't think that's the
Rocket's a
reason.
very tragic figure to begin with.
Yeah, and that's James Gunn's
yeah.
favorite characters. Like that's him. That's him on screen. So
Yeah.
it's a very personal story, I think, for him. So
And then they
I'm
also
excited.
had Will Poulter come out as Adam Warlock, and
Nice.
we got just a single glance, like a single frame within the trailer. He
Okay.
looks really good and spot on
Okay.
as the kind of comic inspiration. And then
Nice.
the High Evolutionary actually came out in full costume and walked Hall H and pretty much told everybody that I just come, you guys disgust me. He used a lot of verbose language to talk how vile we are and how he has bile in his mouth as he's just walking through all of us because
That's fun.
we are a low,
Species.
yeah,
Nice. Well, that's fun.
very, very fun use of it.
I gotta check online, see if any of this stuff leaked. Because I tried looking, I couldn't find much, but I need to try again.
But
Does
Guardians Volume 3, it looks really, really tugging at your heartstrings type of trailer. Like just the way they set up the music, the way they cut the frames. This is going to be an emotional ride for anyone who's watched any of the Guardians movies.
Oh,
Alright.
I don't know if I'm gonna like that.
Especially because this crew isn't necessarily the emotional type. The first two movies are relatively. I mean, actually, the end of the second one is pretty strong, so it kind of continues that story or
Okay.
that tone.
Okay. All right. Well, very nice. Excited for that one.
Yep. And those are the first three movies of Phase 5.
So this is a big phase, Alex.
Well, keep phasing me, baby.
And then Echo comes out because I don't know why. I don't know why this exists. I don't
Who
care.
comes out?
Echo, which is essentially she was in Hawkeye, and it allows them to do more Kingpin, but it also like the highlight of She-Hulk is that Daredevil is in it.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be a Daredevil spin-off show, 18 episodes of Daredevil called Daredevil Born Again. And that's confirmed 100%. That's coming in spring of 2024. And She-Hulk's kind of a jumping off point for that. But Echo also ties inherently into
Yeah.
Daredevil.
It's that street level,
Yeah.
version of superhero that we're gonna get.
Well, I heard whispers that Daredevil is supposed to be kind of the bad guy in She-Hulk.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think maybe bad guy in the context of the courtroom.
Oh, that would make sense.
She-Hulk's
right?
going to
Good
be
opposition.
really interesting.
Oh,
in
because
terms of-
she's supposed to be the lawyer for the bad guy, the actual bad guy, and he's
right.
Okay,
The lawyer for the good guys.
tracking.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
So there you
And then
go.
I guess they're bringing John Berthal back as Punisher too.
Okay, makes
So-
sense.
That's fun because honestly, I liked Punisher. I think the most of all the Netflix Marvel shows.
It was really well made. Really good quality too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be great, and he's a great actor. So it'd be great to have him back.
So
in the
we'll
fold.
see how kind of gritty Echo gets because Hawkeye was definitely goofy. It was
Mhm.
lighthearted, and
Yeah, it was a
Echo's
fun, like-
inclusion in that was
It's a Christmas show.
It's a- yeah,
Yeah.
So it was like a Christmas fun romp.
Mhm.
That's what it was. And Echo was not the strongest character, so I'm a little bit worried.
No.
a little bit
absolutely
worried
not.
for that one, but
Yeah.
then we have summer. So July of 2023, The Marvels comes out in theaters and also in
Okay.
summer on Disney Plus as Loki season 2. And I'm a big, huge fan of Loki. I think that's the best part of Phase 4. So I'm super excited for season 2.
Yeah, it'd be exciting. I like the Marvels. Captain Marvel was a fun movie. I'm probably the only person that liked it, but I enjoyed it a lot. So I'm really looking
I
forward
liked
to part
Captain
2.
Marvel. Come on.
I really liked it though.
I didn't
anyways.
realize you liked it that much.
I
Goodness.
do. I like it a lot. I think it's a nostalgia thing for like the 90s, maybe. I don't know.
Well, the 90s, yeah.
That was just fun. Anyways, but yeah, Loki season 2 is going to be fantastic because it will bring back Kang, most likely, from Quantumania, the last time we'll see him. So we'll see him
Yep.
probably at least 2 times in this phase, which will be fun. See what kind of antics. And like, what do you think, Trevor? Do you think his involvement in the show will be a lot, or do you think it'll just be like that one episode?
I think it's going to be small again, just because I don't know how sold Marvel is on the TV shows as being part of the bigger picture.
Gotcha.
They haven't
Yeah.
proven that they want to be like the TV shows are required viewing. Like having Kang as He Who Remains and not really Kang the Conqueror and kind of just be an introduction where they have more time to tell his story. Because obviously in Ant-Man, they're not going to spend 30 minutes of Kang describing who he is. You know,
Right.
they can't do that because it's a 2-hour movie, but they can do
Yeah.
that in a TV show.
That's correct.
And so, because I mean, the end of Loki season 1, though, he's literally on the pillars. There's stone depictions of He Who Remains. So it seems like he would have some kind of jumping off point in season 2.
Yeah, I hope we get to see a lot more of him, and obviously a variant of him, so he gets to, be a different character. And the question remains: is he going to be the same variant in Quantumania, or is he going to be a whole different variant in Loki season 2?
I'm hoping that's 3 different variants. Season 1
I hope so, too.
is a different variant from season 2 and a different variant from Ant-Man.
I do too. That'd be a
Because
lot
that
of fun.
emphasizes the multiverse saga, which is what Phase 4, 5, and 6 are now called.
So, okay, I know that you had mentioned you don't really like the whole the aliens that can turn into other people type of thing.
The
Right.
Skrulls,
And
yeah.
it's just bad writing. Don't you think we can kind of get into that same feel though with this whole multiverse? Like,
No, because an alien who looks like somebody is different than. I love the idea of multiverse just from the idea of it's almost like if you had a clone of you that was born today, they would be completely different. Their genetic code would be exactly the same as you, but when they're your age in 2050 or whatever, they're going to be a completely different person because they weren't raised exactly the
Right,
same. as
nature
you were.
versus nurture.
Even
Right.
just a different time. So I feel like variants tie into that whole. I love nature versus nurture when it's really done well in movies or TV shows. So that's what variants tie
Okay.
into.
Yeah,
Okay.
and with the whole the Skrulls becoming different people, is that it's like an easy way out if someone does die, versus say a variant, which is another whole separate entity, another person that's like that person. So, if you say Iron Man died, well, he was a Skrull the whole time, and this is actually Iron Man, and he's been here the whole time alive. Like, that's a cheap cop out.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
like
Yeah, but if
being a
it's
what if
like
of a
Iron
different
Man-
Tony Stark, though.
Exactly, Trevor. Yes,
okay,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
there you go.
Because
That's a
like
good
if
question,
Bucky
Noah.
didn't kill Tony Stark's parents, he would be a completely different Tony Stark. And what if we see him die, but they established his pedigree to get there? See, the Skrull don't establish, dying. They just kind
Right,
of
they
show
just-
up. They don't have a personality.
Right.
So it's just bad writing then.
It's
It
not
can
bad
be, I
writing.
guess.
It's more time.
Well, what was it? The movie that we watched not too long ago, where at the very end it was like, oh, they were Skrulls the whole time.
I don't know.
Was that Captain Marvel? No, it wasn't.
Oh, it's at the
Captain
end of
Marvel.
Spider-Man 2, right? At the end of No Way Home.
Yes, where all of a sudden we're like, hey, well, that doesn't make sense at all. So, yeah, I get it. It bothered me
Gotcha.
tremendously. So I get why that would bother you. Okay, I'm tracking. I'm on board.
But yeah, the
Time.
Marvels
Phase
is
4.
going to be interesting just because you have Monica Rambeau introduced in WandaVision, and then you have Miss Marvel, actually Kamala Khan, developed as a character in her own show, and then she swapped places with Claire Danvers at the end of her own show, and so they have to piece all of this together now.
Somehow, some way. Who knows?
But it's
how?
it's so bizarre that they're not wanting to spend a whole lot of time with the TV, or they're saying that the TV shows aren't going to be a big part of all of this, but the TV shows are kind of a huge part of all of this. Like if
Yeah.
I go in to just watch the Marvels movie, I don't know who Rambo is, and then I don't know who Miss Marvel is if I didn't watch the show.
It would be
I
like
mean,
watching Doctor Strange without seeing WandaVision. It's like the last time we saw Wanda, she was crying over Vision being killed. I don't know what kids she had with Vision or what that even means. That these
right?
kids
Why
that
is there kids
she's
all
doing?
of a sudden? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, the
That's the
TV
same
shows
thing.
are important.
Right. So
Whether
watch
they
the
say it or
TV
not.
shows, people. If it's important. Watch the shows, or just listen to us talk about the shows. Then you'll really get it.
Yep.
You get the
I'm
gist.
I'm just gonna be interested to see what the Marvels is actually gonna be about. Like, are they fighting somebody? Like, why are they teaming up? They teaming up to go back to Earth to try to find Carol Danvers? Like, what is the plot of it? So I'm looking at the timeline and I'm just not too sure what they would have to be up against. I mean, unless
It's
there's
definitely
another
weird
Kang out
because,
there.
well, just like you have Ant-Man and he goes to a completely different realm. And then
Yeah.
you have Guardians, which purposely are going to different planets and out in the galaxy. And then the thing about Captain Marvel is she's also out in the galaxy. You know, they aren't Earth-based adventures, and it's really interesting to have them back to back.
Yeah. Like, how different are they going to be? So we'll see. Maybe it'll be a more character-driven story than big action stuff. Who knows? I am interested. I am intrigued by it. I'll say that.
I'm definitely intrigued just because the first Captain Marvel, everyone always kind of picked it as Captain Marvel 2. Like, that's just the successor. That's how we do these movies. And so to have it called the Marvels now and have different people kind of tie to that potential mantle all in the same film, it just changes kind of the trajectory of what are we doing with Brie Larson's character.
Right. What are we doing? We'll find out.
I suppose we'll learn. So
Yeah.
cool. When does the Marvels come out then?
So those are both summer.
Yeah.
Summer of next year.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
And then by the time we get to the fall, this is where things get, I don't want to say interesting because they're not that interesting. So we're making Ironheart because we need to continue the Young Avengers, and we see that she's also going to make an appearance in Black Panther 2. That's when we're going to be introduced to Ironheart for the first time, and then she's going to have her own TV show in the fall. And then Blade is coming out, and Blade should be kind of in the Moon Knight idea where it doesn't seem to fit with everything else that's happening in the MCU. So Blade is a definitely weird kind of piece.
Yeah, it's the outlier.
See, and that's interesting that they would be announcing something like that with all these big phase. What is it? Phase 4? Phase 4 or phase 5?
And Blade comes out 4 days after Halloween too. Interesting.
Oh, they need to make that a little sooner.
Yeah, just
It's
come
gonna
out
be
a
all
week before.
A week before, man. It's so silly.
It'll spill
Because then
over.
that excites people for Halloween.
Who knows?
Halloweeny type of stuff.
These days could all change.
Yes,
They
these
always
dates
do.
are all tentative and they're just thrown out so people stop asking them.
Pretty much. Yeah. Like, here's the general idea, the guideposts for when this will come out. So who knows? It might change to that. It'd be interesting to see who else shows up in Blade, if it's just going to be a standalone Blade film, which I doubt it will be. I think we're going to get quite a few other people in there.
I mean,
To
we
set
have
up a whole separate universe. That's what they're doing. I think they're doing that thing now. Instead of it all being one universe, it's like they're creating separate pocket universes in the MCU now. Like, you have like the horror side, the comedic side, maybe, or the Young Avengers side versus the older New Avengers side, and then you have the mutants coming in soon. So they're kind of creating sub pockets within their own franchise now.
That way, when they do team up as this big overarching team up, it can be the biggest
really
movie
big.
event of all time.
Exactly.
So you're imagining that this could be bigger than Infinity War or Endgame.
Imagine if,
It's bigger than the birth of mankind. Just saying.
this is done. Like,
I hope my internet corrects itself so you can see me rolling my eyes.
Just saying. Just saying. But yes, I do think it's going to be like that.
it's definitely
Really?
a super big deal, just because you'll have people who are fans of the different pockets that Prague is kind of building out, where you have kind of the traditional Earthbound heroes, and then you have these all new characters where the X-Men don't have to interact with the characters we know to still have
Right.
their own kind of story and existence. So when they finally do come together, it's a really big deal.
Yep. Very big deal.
Yep. And so
right.
Not big
More
deal though. Is for some reason they decided to make an Agatha show.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! You sir.
Like I know
Yeah.
Captain Han was great, but come on, I don't need a whole show with her.
I need shows and movies and like spin-offs and everything with her. Yes. I don't know what you're
Trevor,
talking about.
I am with you here, brother. I don't need any more of it. I don't need. I love her as an actress. She's a fantastic actress, but there wasn't enough there for me for the intrigue on continuing that story.
Especially like the way WandaVision ended with her. Like I understand Wanda's end on that show, but Agatha's end was as anticlimactic as you could have written it. To make more of that, I don't know.
Do you think this is going to be about her in Westview, or do you think this is going to be like a prequel show?
It might be a prequel, but I know what her end point is, and I don't care to get to that weak end point where she's flying in the air with the kids on these imaginary leashes and then going to get dominated with this red sky.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah,
That
I was not a
was
fan of that
real
aspect.
bad.
I enjoyed her up until then, but yeah.
Once
on
she
that
sings her song,
set,
Yeah.
once they have the Agatha All Along song, it goes downhill really quick for her.
That was peak television right there.
It does. It goes right up to a really good point, and then it just her character just nosedived right after that.
oh, so bad.
And then we did mention Daredevil, so that should come out spring 2024, because now we're already out to 2 years down the road. And then Captain America. Remember Captain America and the Winter Soldier, where we need Falcon to be Captain America? Well, now he has his own movie where he can now run to be a senator and have speeches for the entire time. So did you like the end of episode 6 where he just gives a speech? Now he's going to do it
That's
for a
it.
whole movie. He's just going to fly around and give speeches. I'm excited.
Wait, is that sarcasm?
It was about as sarcastic as I could have been.
Okay, cool.
But you
I
know,
was
he
about
might
to
not
say
be too far off. I'm not too sure what
my-
the show's going to be like.
you know what I'm imagining? I'm imagining A-Train from The Boys.
Oh boy. Oh geez. Yeah. I hope
I'm
not. I hope it's not
imagining-
like that.
An A-Train from The Boys type of movie.
It's
Right.
just because A-Train's outfit looked like Falcon. There was times where he just looks like Falcon. The way he wears the sunglasses and just everything, he had this whole vibe.
Yeah, the boys kind of ruined a lot of superhero stuff. Huh?
Yeah.
Quickly to backtrack real quick here to the Daredevil show. So they're calling it Daredevil Born Again, but they've
Right.
already done that storyline in season 3 of Daredevil. So I'm not too sure if they're like doing a soft reboot or a continuation or what this is. I am intrigued about that personally, especially since they're bringing back the original actors. It'd be different if they recast everybody and did it Born
Mhm.
Again. But to do the same storyline, or maybe they're calling it Born Again just to
They're
call
just
it
using
that.
the title.
I
yeah.
hope so, because that would be very weird. But I do hope they bring everybody back, not just the ones we mentioned, because that'd be really weird. If they
Oh,
did.
like Foggy and Karen and everybody.
Yeah, you have to bring everybody back. You can't just bring the other guys, the superheroes. So
Gotta
continue
do I have
the
to
law
watch
firm.
that show too?
Daredevil.
Do I have to go back and
I'm
watch
really-
Daredevil?
No, I'm really intrigued because Daredevil season 1 is amazing. Just the way they choreograph the fight scenes to Matt's progression as becoming Daredevil is just one of the best superhero stories that we've seen. And then season 2 is really good with Punisher. When Punisher and Matt are talking
Just
on the
that.
rooftop, that's amazing. When Elektra comes in, it becomes too fantastical and it loses the gravitas and the grounded nature of the show.
Yeah, I was
Season
not a
3
fan of
comes
Elektra.
back with that, with Bullseye and Kingpin and just that whole kind of back and forth. So it'll be
like-
interesting to see how dark and gritty they can be on Disney Plus.
I know. We'll see. Yep. That's all right. All right. The last one to round us out here.
The last
for
one is
phase
Thunderbolts, which I've called Thundercats multiple times in discussing
Thunder,
this.
thunder.
What is
Oh!
Thunderbolts?
So Thunderbolts is essentially the tie of bad Captain America, who becomes U.S. agent, and then ties into Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who ties into Black Widow's sister, and we have this whole kind of. This is another sub pocket point.
It's kind of like the Suicide Squad, but for Marvel.
Yes.
In a way.
Okay.
Same idea. Kind of not
I'm
quite
actually-
good guys.
I gotta tell you, I would kind of be more excited about that than a couple of the other things that we've discussed.
Well, this
I
is
would too.
definitely
I think
intriguing for Marvel to do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And I like the characters.
Mhm.
So
Now, who all did you say? You said the Captain America who is bad Captain America.
Yeah. And then
Who was
Yelena.
Agent? Do you remember Yelena, Alex?
Yeah, but I mean, is there any more people? Just them two?
I don't know anyone else.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm not
we'll
hip
see
on
who
this
else there-
comic or anything.
Okay. Noted.
So we'll see who else they recruit.
Well, and that's
so far,
like
they haven't
that's-
recruited anyone else on screen, though, right?
Right. So they still have all of Phase 5 to do that.
and that's like really far down the line, anyways, right?
That's July, so that's summer of 2024.
Oh my god. Why
Yeah.
are we even talking about it?
Well, don't worry, we got
no,
November
there's more.
2024.
Oh no!
So then Phase 6. There's
Yeah,
a lot
all
of gaps
next
on
phase.
Phase 6.
What?
But there's only
What?
3 tent poles in Phase 6. The first one is November of 2024. There's an official Marvel Fantastic Four. We don't know anything beyond that. We just know that for some reason, Reed Richards that we got in Doctor Strange is the worst depiction of any character in cinematic history. So hopefully we don't ever see John Krasinski become Reed Richards ever again. That was a
Please knock
screen
on
test
wood.
that was terrible.
Wait, so people didn't like him as Reed Richards? I don't
Well, there's
understand.
I
plenty of
hated him.
people-
I don't know what
there's
anybody
plenty of
else said.
people that did, but yeah.
I thought he was great.
No.
Alex.
You didn't like him as Reed Richards? Like,
No,
he,
it was
he
a
had
weird
like
fan
3
cast.
lines. Like,
No, I kept expecting him to look at the camera and like wink at me or make a face. It's like,
oh my, come on, guys. The
I
guy
really
was a
did. I was just like,
fantastic-
oh boy, this is not the smartest man on earth. Like that's not who John Krasinski is. I like the guy. He's fun. He's funny guy. He's not Mr.
Oh.
Fantastic, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
I hope they
Just fun
cast somebody
fancasting.
that I don't know from something else, or essentially someone who's kind of a chameleon type of person.
Yeah.
Give
John
me-
Krasinski isn't that actor.
No, he's
Give me
too
the
well
guy
known.
from the early 2000s. Bring him back.
No, I'm good. Bring nobody
don't-
back from any.
Yeah,
of
don't
the
do
past
Miles
films.
Teller either.
No, hard stop. Mm-mm.
Jessica Alba. Come
I
Yeah.
mean,
on.
okay. Jessica Alba can come back. She can do whatever she wants. But everybody else, no, I'm good.
Oh,
Oh, Dark Angel.
funny.
That was
Dark
good.
Angel. That's my go-to with Jessica
Sorry.
Alba is
Yeah.
Idle Hands.
Ah, yeah, very good, very good.
Oh, dude, that was the best.
Anyway,
That was the first time I ever saw her. Loved it.
yeah.
Oh,
All
was
right.
it getting hot up there too?
Love warm. What's next? So,
So
that's
then we-
tent pole number 1.
Yeah, then we get to
Oh,
go out to
boy.
2025 because I know what I'm doing in 2025. Well, Marvel somehow knows what they're doing, and that's the Kang Dynasty Avengers 5? Yeah, Avengers 5, Kang Dynasty. And so hopefully that
Careful.
means that
Is there an earthquake happening up there?
No, you're just
What is going
excited
on?
about this.
Dude, you are so excited.
Fired up.
Yeah, because it's finally Kang actually in the title. And this
Yeah.
is, I was talking to Prague about this. I hope he wins. I hope he kills everybody. I don't care. They could kill every single hero that's been on screen in this movie. I do not care. I'm all in.
You can't do that.
They might. They
I mean,
might do it.
they did it once before, and then what? What do we do after
Just
that?
half
You
the
go,
population.
Yeah. No, I want him
We
to
want
kill
the
everybody.
whole, everyone.
And-
No
and
one's
then what-
left over.
and then what? Then you go, oh well, don't worry, we've got a multiverse where we're just gonna go grab everybody from the multiverse to come get you.
Yes. And then they can
Exactly,
create
Alex.
brand new
Oh.
characters who don't have the failings of all these substandard heroes that we have now.
So
the best
here's
heroes
why,
are gone.
So here's
Let's
why
go.
I think Trevor might be right that he might kill everybody. I think he's going to kill every single person that we can think of that would still be alive at that point, except for the Young Avengers, who are the ones that defeat him, or able to at least. And they're the ones that can usher in the new era with all these new variants that come over, and the X-Men possibly that come over. That's my theory.
Especially because they announced 2 Avengers films together. And so the next Avengers, so May 2025 and then November 2025, we have Avengers Secret Wars.
Yeah,
And
I got ahead of myself.
Wars as we tie into all kinds of Secret Invasion plus all the different variants. And
Yep.
you're going to need a lot to face Kang because you're not just facing one Kang. That's the emphasis. That's why he has to win. They have to show the power of what Kang is possible when he defeats you in every timeline, no matter what you try.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe the only person that can defeat him is himself.
And all of this
Yes.
is because of Lady Loki in the Loki series.
Had to do it.
She
Yeah.
had to kill him, which sparked Phase
'cause she has
4,
trust
Phase
issues.
5, Phase
It's just
6.
trust issues, man. Trust issues ruin everything. This is actually the moral of Marvel.
Look at Chris Pratt when he and Gamora, all that stuff. He could have taken. They could have beaten Thanos easily, but he got trust issues. Anyways, fun stuff.
Okay. There you go. Trust
Don't you
issues.
remember that part?
I do.
remember,
I don't
dude.
know what it has to
I'm-
do with trust issues.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was the trust issues thing, but
It's trust. His trust is to you can't trust that guy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
Sorry, I'm getting like a whole lot of text messages right now, and they're like stuff
This
that
guy.
I probably should be a part of, but I'm trying not to.
Just ignore. You have a few more minutes left. We're good.
Few-
You're all good.
Okay.
Yeah. We're all good. Because that's the end of that's the end of phase 6. Is that, and then in phase 6 they leave a whole bunch of days blank. So we have
Yep.
no idea what's going to fill those gaps. I'm guessing at some point there will be the Mutants movie that they've been talking about for a long time and teasing. I don't know if there's going to be an
And
The
X-Men movie or
Mutants
not.
movie.
we're also want to emphasize this is the Hall H panel at San Diego Comic-Con.
Correct.
In September, there's this little thing that Disney they own Marvel. They own this. They also have their own event that isn't where they have to pay money to anybody. They don't have to connect with a different company. They just host their own event, and there's going to be a panel there too. It's called D23.
Yeah, I think they're saving the big one, the X Factor, for D23. Is my
You
guess.
think so?
Oh yeah.
When is
I think
D20?
they're-
It's coming up, isn't it?
It is?
September 9th to 11th.
I think they're going to roll out some casting choices that day too. Like they're going to bring some people on stage.
Yep.
This
I
is
know
a
some
big
people
deal,
that are
fellas.
already in.
Oh no,
talks.
D23 is going to be details. Like, the Hall H panel was a big picture. Look at all this stuff that's happening. And now they can
Announcements.
get to be more specifics. Yeah.
So it'd be fun to see what else they talk about.
Are we
We
going
might
to
have
D23?
to have we might need a
I'm-
D23 recap Marvel episode.
Oh yeah, most likely.
I don't know. This was pretty informative and fun. I didn't know any of this stuff. So this was great for me, at least.
Surprise.
I mean, just shout out to Kevin Feige that in 2008 he took a relatively minor Marvel superhero and he didn't have access to Spider-Man, he didn't have access to X-Men, he didn't have access to the Fantastic Four, and somehow made the biggest cinematic universe that no one would even fathom that it could be created. And he didn't have the
Yep.
3 most popular Marvel brands.
It's crazy.
No Superman, no Batman.
No Batman. Jeez.
Unbelievable, man. It
Yeah, I'm
is
pretty sure-
crazy what he's.
Pretty sure Kevin Feige doesn't sleep because he never blinks. So, or he's a robot. I'm not too sure.
He's just from
He's
the
a
future,
lizard person, man.
where he's seen this created.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
This
then
is
you
Kang.
would think
He's
he would
Kang.
try to-
He has written
You
the
would-
entire storyline already. He knows how
You
it
would
ends.
think that he would have corrected mistakes like Falcon and Winter Soldier and
he allowed
it?
that
Has
to
to
happen.
happen.
It
It's
has
the
to
comparison.
happen. Just like Kang said, it has to happen. I allowed it to happen.
Yeah, you got to let the crap through so that way the good stuff looks that much better.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't that nice?
Wow.
And sparkly.
Oh
yes.
wow,
Exactly. It's a
the
mastermind.
truth. That is really good. That's good.
Just FYI,
guys.
Kang is super powerful, so I'm pretty sure definitely gonna win.
He has
but that's-
to.
He kinda has
Otherwise,
to.
there's no
What else do you do?
you need a big, huge, gigantic threat because there's a reason they didn't go with a big
like
entity.
Galactus.
Yeah, like Galactus. There's a reason
Yeah,
they
which
went
is
with
coming.
Kang.
You think Galactus is coming in what, 6?
7.
7?
100%.
So you think that might be the big bad in 7 then?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Silver Surfer.
Yep, like he's gonna be introduced in Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
and he'll come back around at the end of Phase 6. Swoop in.
As soon as they think they're good, he's like,
Oh, guess
guys,
what? Sorry.
there's something else coming.
Bad news for you.
We caught something on this brand new James Webb telescope, and it's in the distance coming our way.
Yep. Surfs up. That's like the tagline. That's it. And it's cut to black.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic Four.
On it now.
Surfs up.
There you go. There you go.
I love that.
But yeah, I'm very excited for a lot that's coming.
yeah,
Should be
so
fun.
which one are you most excited for? And fans, reach out to us on any form of contact and let us know which one you're most excited for.
Most excited for?
I think right now, probably the Marvels for me.
That was
don't
going to
know.
be my first choice, honestly. Just because I'm so
Yeah.
intrigued by what they're going to do with that.
Exactly. So I'm all in on the Marvels.
I think for Phase 5, it'll probably be Loki 2, Season 2, just to see what they're doing with Kang in the multiverse, but also the Marvels. And then for the next phase, I don't know. I guess I'm intrigued for Fantastic Four to see them do it right, because I did not like the last 2 iterations, and I'm not the
Yeah.
biggest fan of Fantastic Four in the comics either. Like they bore me to tears. So if they can make it work, then I'm all in. I think Marvel can do it. I think Kevin Feige
I think I'm
can.
most excited for Ant-Man just because I feel like Ant-Man was so far away for so long
Mhm.
that it
Okay.
finally feels like it's getting close. And
Well, you also got to see the trailer. I don't know what the trailer.
yeah, no,
looked like and
Ant-Man
felt like.
looks really good, but
So-
like Loki, I have a baseline. I know I'm gonna enjoy it.
Right. Okay.
And the Marvels, Captain Marvel's always been OP to me, and I don't know how they're gonna change that by adding more
Right.
power
More
at our
OP
disposal.
people. Right.
So that kind of limits that. And so Ant-Man, it just, I guess I wanted Doctor Strange to open the multiverse, and it didn't really. Everyone
Right.
was like, "Oh, you know that big purple flash in Loki? You know when in No Way Home when Peter makes everybody forget him? Like all these things
Yeah,
are.
it
Oh,
keeps
is this the
happening,
moment?
right?
This is the moment. I
Right.
keep pushing it down the line, and I'm hoping Ant-Man's the one that I'm pushing it down the line. It might not be, but I have to hope that finally
You know
they
what?
break open the multiverse.
It's gonna be an echo. That's where it's gonna be.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an echo of everything.
Yeah.
Just calling it now.
And that's-
Placing my bet.
She's not even hearing impaired, and
Right.
that's
exactly.
the noise that makes her. Oh no!
See, called it here. I mean, who knew that the mutants were going to be introduced in Miss Marvel at the very,
That's fair.
very, very end? Like that was so random. You never know.
I just if you guys please indulge me for a second.
Yes.
I know that you guys have been talking a lot about Kang and how he's the big bad and everything like
Mm-hmm.
that. Now, we really have only seen him at this point in Loki,
Correct.
correct?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
And honestly, he was only in really like one big scene in Loki.
Correct.
I still like you guys are talking about how he is. I mean, as you guys are comic, or at least Prague, you're a comic fan, so you know a lot of his backstory a bit more than like myself. I'm still not even intrigued by this guy.
So let me explain something to you about Kang. So in Loki,
explain it, please.
well, no, Loki. He tells you in Loki, like he wrote everything. He wrote the narrative. Everything we saw in the first 3 phases of MCU, he wrote all of that. Everything happened because he allowed it to happen, and he paved the road for everything. He allowed the Avengers to allow Thanos to snap. He allowed them to win. He knows everything about them. Like he is OP. Like he is as OP as you get. There are so many different variants of him out there that have been just dominating like every multiverse out there for eons. You know, he's the
I
keeper
feel
of
like
the timeline. He is everything. So he's OP.
I feel okay, and just for people like my dad who's listening, OP means overpowered.
Sorry,
So
overpowered.
just
He's very powerful. He so he has been time traveling for many years when he was growing up, and then he discovered many secrets of the multiverse and the universe, how things work, and many different variations of himself. And he has watched the Avengers. He's fought the Avengers many times and won many times.
I think
already.
it's just I think getting to that point of actually seeing him be overpowering.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you don't want to show him that yet, right? Like, we just got
Right, of
introduced. We don't want to
course.
show Thanos
Yeah.
being like, I killed everybody already. Like, that won't be
Well,
as exciting.
First time we see Thanos is he's floating around on a
Right.
throne in the
That's it.
galaxy, and it's like, well, that guy looks like he could take on an entire squad of Hulk and whoever.
Sure.
Like
He's,
he at least
intimidating
has
looking.
the look of it. You know what
But
I
that's what
mean?
makes this character more fun is you don't think of him as anything. Like, he's this really bumbling, silly, goofy character. You're like, oh, he's no threat at all. Ha ha ha. Who cares? And he has that little line at the end. Like, see you soon. Like, you just messed up. Like, you met like the little kitten, the little puppy. You have no idea.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be fun. It'll be fun coming up. Don't
Well,
worry
I'm
about it.
looking forward to it now. I mean, it's going to be
And you get different
interesting.
versions, different characteristics and personalities for this character too. So it'll be a lot of fun to see him.
Do you
fight
think we're
people.
going to see multiple Lokis again?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It'd be nice.
Maybe.
It would be nice.
I just want to go back to that planet again where it's got all the space junk. Like that.
Yeah, it'd be fun to go back there too.
I want to go back there so bad. It's so much fun. Like I almost want to just rewatch that episode just to see it. The Thanos
Yeah, I have
helicopter.
a feeling
Wanna see
we'll be going back to that planet in season 2
Yeah.
for sure. Gotta pick up Kid Loki, and then Gator Loki, and take him on to the Avengers.
Go Gators.
So, yes, it will happen.
I mean, have you seen the still frames from Loki season 2 where they're at the McDonald's, just like on the
Oh
set?
yes, I did. I did see that. The set.
And I love how much personality McDonald's used to have.
I know.
That's all that seems to be a reminder of that. Like
Yeah,
McDonald's,
sad.
it's the whole midlife crisis where you're fun and bubbly as a kid, you have all kinds of colors, and then you grow up and now you wear gray suits and you go to a boring office. That's what happened to McDonald's. And I love that Loki, of all shows, is gonna dabble in making fun of that.
Yeah. Can't wait. Looks like fun.
And then did you see the photo of Jonathan Majors on the set where
No, not yet.
Simu Liu, the guy who plays Shang-Chi, posted a photo and he's like, the Avengers are in trouble. And he's just like totally bulked up and he has this big like anger
Oh, wait.
face
No,
on
I
him.
did see that. I didn't know that was from the set. I thought that was just him like working out or something.
No, I think it's from
I
the set.
have not seen.
Oh wow,
any of
he
this
is
stuff.
intimidating. Like my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like no CGI. Like that's all him.
Yeah.
That's like, oh my God.
And then
Yeah.
also, there's no mention of Shang-Chi sequel or how he fits in.
Yeah,
with
there
all
isn't
this.
yet.
I
I don't know
love
what-
him joking about, oh, the Avengers are in trouble. Like he doesn't become an Avenger one day. It's
Right.
fun stuff. He has fun on
It
Twitter.
is.
Oh, I hope
I
we
don't
see more Moon Knight. Mm.
Probably in Blade.
Yeah.
Crickets.
And then,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
the other
Moon
thing
Knight.
that doesn't connect to anything else.
Yeah.
Moon Knight has that shout out to the Young Avenger version of Kang. It's very subtle,
That's
but
true.
it does have that shout out.
So it does happen. So it might.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Pockets of Marvel coming in 2023, 2024, and 2025.
Yes.
Strap in.
Kevin Feige has paved the road.
Buckle your chin straps. We're going in.
So, to everyone listening, we hope you enjoy, and we'll talk next time.
Frog out.
Adios, y'all.